Pauline, before we get on to that migration stuff, you said some words on Channel 9 this morning, and you said basically that you don't trust the Chinese. You've never trusted them, have you?
No, I haven't. I don't trust the Chinese. And actually I was asked that my critics are saying that it's actually racist. And I said, why is it racist? I've come out publicly and saying I don't trust our government. I don't trust Bill Shorten. Is that racist? No, it's not. And it's, I feel it's the way a lot of Australians, especially on my Facebook page, are saying they don't trust the Chinese as well. So I won't withdraw my comments. That's how I feel about it. You know, we've seen too much that's happened from the Chinese in this country. You know, there's spying that's happened. You know, what's happened in Wuhan, they won't support an inquiry into it to find out what's happened there. And I just feel that they're not a regime, dictatorial regime. I don't trust, because they want to become the world power of the global world power, and I don't trust them.
Pauline, Christina Keneally has come out and said we need to have a rethink on our immigration policies. You say that's vindication of what you've been talking about for 2 decades. Peter,
I don't know if I want to say that I want to be vindicated. The fact is that I've been speaking about this for so long. I feel that the Labor Party, she's come out and she said this because they're irrelevant. They really are. The opposition is irrelevant. They've gone down in the polls. I feel that they're trying to tap into the Australian sentiment at the moment, and they feel that, you know, they're sick of the foreign workers, they're sick of the foreign ownership of our country. And Australians want to get back to Australian ownership and our sovereignty. And I think Labor's jumped on board. But if you look at the policies, the socialist attitude of the Labor Party, backed by the Greens, it is an alliance between the Labor and the Greens, and the Greens want to open up the borders, more refugees, flood more immigration. And Rudd did that. Under Rudd, we have had about 300,000 migrants that came into the country. Their policies were to increase the refugee status from 22,000 under the coalition to over 30,000. So they want to open up foreign investment to allow more for it, and they have no regards or concerns about foreign ownership of our land and agricultural land. So do I trust the Labor Party? Do I trust Keneally? No, I don't. She made a bloody mess of New South Wales as Premier, and I think she's just vying for the position of Penny Wong in the Senate.
Well, she probably is. She probably is, and those are fairly prescient comments, I would say. Now, let's have a look at what's been happening in Queensland with all these fines, 2.2 million in fines for coronavirus breaches. But now the Premier's come out this afternoon, Premier Palaszczuk, and said she thinks June is an ambitious target, but she's saying that could be around the time that pubs, clubs and restaurants, we have these restrictions lifted. Your thoughts?
I think she's absolutely ridiculous. When we have so many, you know, few cases across Australia to do with the coronavirus now, I think it's been handled very, very well. Peter, I've said this all along. You've got people in our society who are vulnerable to the COVID-19, right? The aged, the elderly. They should be actually not in contact with other people. Those people with respiratory problems, diabetes, those issues should not be around other people. It's about time we allowed the general public to go about their own business. I think that she is over the top. I just feel that she's using this for political reasons leading into the state election. Kids should be back at school. They don't carry the virus and it's not transportable. And for that one teacher, and I think that Palaszczuk has allowed herself to be dictated to by the unions. And it's a real shame. If we don't get the country up and moving, we're going to have more economic problems. We're going to have people with no jobs to go to because business people won't bother opening up.
What about these fines, Pauline? I mean, in Victoria, you can't play golf, you can't fish, but up here, $2.2 million in fines. Do you think the police have overreached?
The fines on people is just ridiculous at a point of time when a lot of Australians have actually lost their jobs and doing it tough. And I've actually put out there about these payday lenders that are fleecing people, and those ones who can't pay for their electricity bills or need some cash, going to them, they're actually paying up to 400%, in some cases even up to 1,000% interest, on their money. 400% on a loan, maybe $400, $1,000, $2,000. This is a time when Australians can't afford it. I think it's pathetic from the Australian, Queensland government, Palaszczuk and the police to actually be putting these fines on people. I understand about social distancing. I get it. I understand that's actually curbed the COVID-19. But I also understand that there has to be also, some understanding and compassion. I think the people of Australia have been fantastic, the way they've handled this. But if we don't get the economy going, up and running, we've got now people that are suiciding over domestic violence issues or family issues. We've got more stress, depression that is happening. That's not finished overnight just because the country opens up. These are ongoing issues. This is what they've got to take into consideration.